Let me ask you something. Do you have nights where you lay awake in your bed until 1 or 2 a.m. and feel like your brain just won't shut off? Are you constantly feeling on edge even when nothing's technically wrong? Do you struggle being present with your family and loved ones because you can't stop thinking about work? When you hear these questions, you probably think that you're just stressed, but what you're actually dealing with is called high functioning anxiety. And if you don't address it now, the cost won't just be emotional. It'll be your focus getting even worse so your performance at work suffers, your energy getting dangerously close to burnout levels which prevent you from doing the things you love, and your ability to be present and engaged for your family. But what if the solution isn't doing more? What if it's by removing the roadblocks that have been clogging your mind? Now I know what you might be thinking. Why did you listen to me about this? Well, not only have I been a professional counselor and mental health coach for over half a decade, but 7 years ago, I narrowly survived a mass shooting that tested me in ways I never thought possible. And the road to recovery taught me more than any book or degree ever could. I'll touch more on that later. My name is Steven Javruski, and I help professionals in fields like business, technology, engineering, finance, and medicine relieve their anxiety so they can finally feel calm again without sacrificing their ambition, all while using a method designed specifically for how your brain works. It started when I noticed a pattern in my clients. The most driven people, the ones hitting goals, climbing ladders, making money, were also the ones struggling the most internally. They were exhausted, anxious, and quietly questioning their ability to hold it all together. Fast forward to today, I've helped dozens of high performers take back control of their emotions, create clarity, and finally enjoy the success they've worked so hard to build. Now, you're a smart person, and I bet you've tried to manage these issues before. Maybe you turn to self-help books, to talk therapy, but nothing has quite pushed you through to feeling better to the degree you were looking for. Otherwise, let's be honest, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You see, I was once in your shoes. After experiencing the shooting, I turned to the books for my grad school classes, but I realized they don't completely solve your problems. And I've come to realize that my clients have also tried the same stuff as we all have. But something is fundamentally broken. They've read every self-help book they could get their hands on, but they didn't know how to properly apply the information to their life. They've tried traditional therapy, but it felt too slow, too abstract, or just like they were venting without a plan. They downloaded apps like Headspace, tried meditation, maybe even got on medication, but they still wake up with that same tight chest and still have the racing thoughts. You might have tried a lot of the same things I just mentioned and even convinced yourself, maybe I just need to be more disciplined. Maybe if I just push through a little harder, it'll eventually go away. But here's what I've seen over and over again. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a dysregulation problem. And no amount of planning, pushing, or perfectionism is going to fix it. Because the root of your issue is not in your calendar. It's in your nervous system. It's in the way you relate to uncertainty, emotion, and pressure. But no one ever taught you that. And that's because most mainstream solutions are either too soft, too generic, or simply don't speak the language of high achievers like you. They only help you manage the symptoms, not solve the root problem. You don't need a magic morning routine or another productivity hack. Now, I don't just say this because of my work with clients. I had to learn all of this the hard way. When I was in college at the University of Central Florida, I played the football video game Madden NFL Football professionally for a number of years. I competed in tournaments online and all across the United States, winning over $50,000 in the process. On August 26, 2018, I just started my first week of graduate school classes at UCF for counselor education, and I attended a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida that weekend. But what happened next would change my life forever. One of the competitors actually shot up the tournament venue while I was there. When the shots started flying, I ran to the bathroom, fearing for my life, not knowing what was going on. I truly didn't know whether I was gonna live or die. I texted my parents, my girlfriend, whatever happens, I love you. I was also the first 911 call. Being in that bathroom with 30 other extremely scared people while the shots were flying just outside the bathroom door, nobody knew what was going on, and we were fearing the absolute worst. After what felt like forever, I eventually left the bathroom when the police arrived, and I unfortunately saw two of my friends laying on the floor lifeless, no longer with us. That was a sight that I'll never forget the rest of my life. As a result of this event, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, an intense generalized anxiety disorder. My entire life as I knew it was turned upside down, and I knew the road ahead would be extremely difficult. To put it bluntly, 2018 through 2020 was the worst time in my life. I was living in a constant state of hyper alertness. My brain was always on even when I was resting. The pressure to perform in my master's program amidst the anxiety and trauma, it was breaking me. And while you may not have experienced exactly what I did, if you're a professional dealing with your own internal struggles, you probably know exactly what I mean. You're the one people rely on, but under the surface, you're overthinking everything, constantly on edge, and wondering when the anxiety will finally stop. I tried traditional therapy, self-help books, podcasts, anything to get relief from the stress and anxiety. But no matter what I did, the anxiety and overwhelm always came back. And I started wondering, what if the problem isn't me, but it's the system that I've been taught how to live inside? That question changed everything. The truth is, anxiety, overwhelm, and overthinking don't get solved through willpower. They get solved by having a framework and skill set that actually work for the demands of a high-pressure lifestyle. I started with one goal: to stop waking up already exhausted from a battle that nobody could see. And that's what led to the creation of what now is known as the M3 method, a step-by-step process that helped me and now helps STEM professionals finally feel calm, clear, and in control again, but without sacrificing their performance or ambition. And when I applied it in my own life, everything changed. I stopped overthinking every situation. I stopped using anxiety as my fuel. And for the first time in years, I finally felt peace. So here's how the M3 method works. It's built around 3 essential pillars. Number 1 is mindset, which gives you a clear path forward. The thing about anxiety is it thrives in confusion, uncertainty, and misalignment, which is why the first thing we do is get crystal clear on what actually matters to you by uncovering your core values and identifying the mental patterns that keep pulling you into anxious spirals. This helps you stop chasing goals that don't serve you, start trusting your own decisions again, and finally feel mentally grounded instead of being emotionally scattered. Number 2 is mastery, which gives you control of your thoughts and emotions. This is where you learn how to calm your system and not just manage the symptoms when they pop up. The thing about anxious thoughts is they don't stop by accident. They stop when you learn how to interrupt the cycle. This phase is where we get to the root of your emotional triggers. You'll learn how to spot the early signs of anxiety, reset your nervous system in the moment, and process emotions in a way that helps you feel safe inside your own body again. That means no more spiraling through worst case scenarios at 2 a.m. No more emotional shutdowns in the middle of the workday. This is where control returns to you. Number 3 is momentum, which gives you sustainability to support your performance. You'll rebuild your focus and energy from a place of strength, not stress. No more pushing through exhaustion, no more relying on last-minute adrenaline. And the best part is you don't need to change your entire life overnight. We start small and build consistent habits that actually stick, because tiny wins over time becomes massive change. Then we use systems, not willpower, to make those habits automatic. Because willpower is unreliable when you're overwhelmed. Systems are what keep you on track when motivation fades. And finally, we help you regularly review and adjust so your strategies evolve as you grow. This keeps you aligned with your goals and prevents backsliding when life inevitably throws you curveballs. Now, you might be wondering, all right, Steven, this all sounds great, but how do I actually implement this? Let me walk you through exactly how we do this through my Resilient Professional program. First is the mindset phase. This takes only about 1 to 2 weeks. We want to get you crystal clear on what matters to you, where you want to go, and identify the mental patterns that are keeping you stuck so we can break you out of this overwhelmed state. Phase 2 is the bulk of it. This is the mastery phase. This is where you learn and implement the personalized skill set that we give you so you can free yourself from sleepless nights, racing thoughts, and constantly feeling on edge. Phase 3 is momentum. By this point, you'll already have the relief you're looking for, but we want it to last. The goal isn't just to get fit, it's to stay fit. The goal isn't just to get married, it's to stay married. This is where we hardwire our system into your daily life with simple, sustainable routines that don't add to your overwhelm. If you're tired of waking up on edge, questioning your every move, and ready to finally feel calm again, DM me the word method on Instagram right now using the link down below, and I'll show you exactly how to implement the M3 method into your life. And please don't wait, because the longer you operate from anxiety and overwhelm, the more you normalize it. I do limit how many clients I work with at a given time to ensure that everyone gets the support that they need. So right now I only have a handful of spots available before doors close for the foreseeable future. So again, if this resonates with you and you're a STEM professional who's tired of carrying the weight alone and is ready to finally feel calm again and break free from anxiety once and for all, DM me the word method on Instagram using the link down below and it will secure your spot.